How often do repair costs exceed your client's initial expectations?
I carry a liability insurance policy for $2 million.
Uh-huh.
I let them know, but everybody says, "Oh my God, that's so much, blah, blah, blah. Can you do better?" And typically the answer is no, because I only use licensed and insured tradesmen.
We're going to talk about that and more on this edition of the Loan Doctor podcast. I'm Rich Brandt, the Loan Doctor with the Brandt Lending Team at North Plain Bank, and I'm with my guest, Jan Farinato.
With Handyman 365.
With Handyman 365, and of course, Jarvis Besnos, my sidekick. This is the Loan Doctor podcast, and welcome to my waiting room. So, Jan, how did you get into the handyman business?
I kind of took a step back. I'm a real estate broker.
Okay.
My daughter, my son-in-law, and I got together, and we wanted to have one-stop shopping. In other words, she's a very strong listing agent. When she goes into the house, she says, "This wall needs to be painted, the dog chewed the baseboard," whatever the matter is.
Mm-hmm.
"Jan, come in and fix it." She never says Mom. She says Jan. We keep it totally professional.
Yeah.
So I go in and I give an estimate and so forth, and we are competitive, but I think our pricing is right on.
Okay.
Well, how did you get into the business yourself?
Oh, yeah, that was the question. Well, we wanted to have one-stop shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So with my daughter being the listing agent, she would go into the property and tell me what needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So she got into the business. You got into the business to sort of supplement what your daughter was doing, so that she's able to, you guys together are able to provide better service for the customer.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But we are totally separate.
Okay.
She's the realtor.
Okay.
I'm the
Handy woman.
repair person, the handy
Okay.
woman.
All right. Got it. All right. Well, as a person who works with my mom, so every now and then when we're in like a pipeline meeting, I do slip up and call her Mom. You've been witness to that.
Many times.
So, okay. So one of the things about you is that you not only do you have a handyman service, but you also have a GC service.
Correct.
Right. As a licensed general contractor. So this question has to do is, when should somebody use a handyman as opposed to a general contractor?
Typically, the handyman can do anything the contractor can do, but on a lesser scale. So, like I was saying, as far as lighting, we can change 1, 2, 3, but when it becomes very complex, I call in my electrician.
Like an electric box
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're hanging ceiling fans or replacing lights, like essentially dealing with electric that's already there,
Yeah.
you got the handyman can handle it.
Can handle that.
But if it's got to be relocating electric or switching out like the box or anything like that, then it's best you'll have the electrical contractor do it as opposed to the handyman.
That is correct.
Okay, okay.
And that goes with plumbing, air conditioning, of course, electrical.
Okay.
We also do tile removal and installation.
Right. Okay, okay.
Bathroom remodels as well.
Excuse me?
Bathrooms.
Yes,
the remodels.
bathroom remodels, kitchen remodels.
Mm-hmm.
as
Okay.
well.
So for the handyman part of their business,
Yes.
is there any special licensing? And you mentioned that your company is licensed and insured. The people you send are insured.
No, what I say, a handyman
Yeah.
or a handy woman,
Yeah.
the state does not require us to have a license.
Okay. Okay.
I'm insured also. I have a $2 million liability insurance policy.
Okay. Gotcha.
That makes us real. Can you
Right.
get somebody off the street that could do it? Yeah. You give them a deposit and you never see them again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We're not that way. We pride ourselves on doing a great job. Are my guys human? Yeah, they are. But if the customer doesn't like something, then the tradesman will go back out there and satisfy the customer.
Yeah. You've been in the service industry pretty much your whole life, right? How long were you a real estate agent?
Since 2005.
Okay. And before that, what'd you do?
I worked for a criminal attorney.
Oh.
Yeah, like 20 years.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
long time. Then
Okay,
he
okay.
retired, and I went on to something else.
Was this in Florida? Or
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ray Sandstrom, if you want to look him up. He was phenomenal.
But he's retired now.
No, he's
he's
in heaven.
Oh, geez. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well,
Or maybe he's not. I don't know.
Right,
you know how lawyers are.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
I don't know. He could be looking up at you right now and disagreeing.
You're right.
Let me ask you this: do you think it's better to call a handyman to look around the house first, or a realtor before you go and make the purchase?
Typically, the realtor does.
Mm-hmm.
The realtor and the homeowner get together, and the realtor will make recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it is the homeowner's final decision, but if they want to sell their house and not have a lot of obstacles when the inspector goes in, the home inspector, it's the homeowner and the realtor. The realtor that I work with mostly will tell them, make the recommendation of what they need to get done.
Okay.
I know for a lot of the realtors I work with, they encourage the homeowner to get an inspection so that they can see what's wrong and then go in and have somebody fix it. Because I think a lot of times what people don't realize is that if I'm buying your house and there's a lot of repairs, then I'm buying your problem, right? And if I'm buying your problem, well, I'm not going to want to pay
The same price.
I want a discount for buying your problem. If I didn't want a discount for buying your problem, then make it your problem instead of my problem. Right? And so, a lot of times I think homeowners don't kind of realize that if they spend a few extra dollars, they're really going to get that benefit twofold because now they're not selling a problem, they're selling a solution. Would you agree with that?
I certainly agree, Mr. Brandt.
All right. Perfect. Ooh.
Mr. Brandt?
You can call me Rich, but Mr. Brandt works. That works.
That reminds me of the first time when I wanted to get my mortgage with you, and I said, should I call you Richard or Rich? And you said, you can call me anything, but just don't call me
Dick. Yeah, this is a podcast. We're not on network TV. So yeah. That was it.
You remember?
Oh, I remember that, and it's funny because a lot of times when you get introduced to people and you're like, is your my name's Rich, and they go, are you rich? Is that why? Yeah, I'm like, yeah. My name's Mike, but I like just going around telling people how much money I have. So yeah, that's always fun. All right, what are some of the most common jobs that you get called for?
Replacing hot water heaters.
Oh, okay.
More than air
We do
conditioning?
that.
More than air conditioning?
More than air conditioning. I've got the best guy for my AC guy.
How long usually they last, and what is main cause of them needing to be replaced?
Well, you have to clean out the lines.
Oh, you do?
Yes, because it gets white algae in them, and that's when you have a backup. I don't know if you've ever had a hot water heater and there's water in
That's what happens to me, yeah.
Yeah. So it's typically clogged, and you need to have the algae blown out. How long do they last? 10 years. My air conditioner, I know we're switching a little bit, but is like 17 years old. But I get it maintained by Ray, and I make sure it's always clean because I have beautiful trees, but they're dirty. They drop lots of leaves. So every day I go out and I clean all the leaves off the air conditioner to try to extend its life.
Now, what have you ever been called for a job? Or I'm sure this has happened. I'm curious. What jobs you've been called for where you're just shocked that either they reached out to you or you were surprised that this even breaks? Anything that you can think of?
I'm not really sure I understand your question.
Anything that you've been asked to do that surprised you? If somebody called you and said, hey, can you take my kid to school? Well, we're a handyman service. What are you talking about?
There are rats.
Yeah.
Actually, that hasn't happened except for my daughter. Yeah,
Okay,
it has.
right.
That part hasn't happened.
Okay, nobody's called you hey, we have like rats or anything.
Rats
Can
in
you
the pipes
remove
or-
rats? Or there's an alligator in my garage? Nothing like that?
No, but we do remove iguanas.
Do they go into the house and
Well,
the
not
attic?
necessarily in the house, in the yard. They're kind of a nuisance. Not kind of, they are. And they grow to be way too big.
Yeah.
I mean, the little chameleons usually don't bother people. They're all around. But when they start to get big, you know, they eat everybody's garden and so forth. They're just a nuisance.
And how often you come to a job where the homeowner actually did the job and had to be redone by you guys?
That does happen occasionally.
It happens,
yeah.
right?
Yes, that does.
So what is something that homeowners often ignore that they shouldn't?
Well, keeping their AC maintained, keeping their hot water heater maintained, changing your AC filter on a regular basis.
So prevention is the key.
Yes, prevention is key.
Yeah, that actually kind of leads to my next question: is there a point where a small problem becomes an expensive emergency?
Yes, when it's ignored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do those maintenance things, and now do you do those maintenance things, like for the AC repair, like the AC or like laundry duct and stuff like that?
The company does.
Yeah.
I subcontract to the AC
okay.
guy. That's how it
okay,
works.
okay.
I'm like the contractor, and I subcontract to my
Right.
tradesman. That's how that works.
Right. So Handyman 365 could, if somebody who was listening hasn't changed their air filters in a while, or hasn't gotten their vents cleaned or their ducts blown, or they just painted their house recently and they haven't checked some of that stuff, they get clogged. They can call you and you can come out.
Do that.
You would arrange to have that done.
Exactly.
Okay.
I would call my tradesman. I do have a handyman that's very, very astute. He basically knows everything, and I told him, he needs to get license. But he's fine the way he is. That he doesn't want to. He's a Haitian guy. It does excellent work. But if it's more involved than what I think it is, then I'll call the AC guy.
Got it. Okay.
My AC guy.
I know one of the things that your guys did is I needed storage for my garage. And I didn't want to get those, those overhead storage racks that they have
on top of the car.
But they're like fixed, right? And I don't want to be climbing on a ladder, holding a heavy box, and I'll fall and kill myself, right? And like your friend, I'll be looking up at everybody, and so, so I bought these racks on Amazon, right? And that it was a rack, but you wire it to the ceiling. And then you take like a drill and you can raise and lower it.
Right.
So that I could put everything on it on the bottom and then it goes up. And they did that. That was pretty cool.
That is my handyman.
Yeah.
That's great. He's the one that does everything. His name is Dante.
But your business also, you offer like monthly maintenance programs that you just pay a flat fee, and then every so often.
If they would like that, but I really prefer to defer to whatever tradesman I use in that category, like to change the filters and so forth. That would be my AC guy. They would use him to do all that, change the filters, like my maintenance. I have maintenance,
but they'll go through you. They'll go through you.
Yes.
Well, yeah. What's the advantage of going through you like this one-stop shop as opposed to going directly to the AC company or directly to?
A lot of people don't know about that. Yeah, can they go to the AC company direct? Sure, they can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they can.
what's the benefit for them not to?
I stand behind my word.
Okay.
And I have people or tradesmen that I know do the job. I've been through many. I started the business in June 2022, and like I said, I started having them do jobs at my house. Sometimes I wasn't happy. So I would try the next one. So my infrastructure is all qualified tradesmen that I trust. So I know that they do a good job.
You vet them, so
I vetted them. Yes.
But let me ask you, Rich. So I don't remember how the steps on getting the mortgage. How many loans have you stopped because a inspection came in and there was some problems with it?
Oh,
is it often?
Yeah, it happens quite frequently. A lot of times. So typically what happens from a lending perspective is that once we get the appraisal, sometimes the appraisal will make a note of conditions that are not safe. right? And any condition that is not safe on an appraisal has to be remedied. Otherwise, you can't get a loan.
But the appraisal is different from the inspection.
No. So for the most part, on most loans, we don't actually see the inspection.
And you can't, right? Legally, you can't.
No, we could. We could. We just usually don't.
Okay.
But it's the appraisal. It's the appraisal that is the indication that there might be something wrong. Like if an appraisal sees like there's a roof leak, right? Then we might have to go and get an inspection to make sure there isn't an active leak. Like that just might need to be a little bit of a repair.
Right.
The repair doesn't necessarily have to be fixed, but the leak does. And so, the same thing with like termites. If they notice that there are termite droppings, we have to get
so the appraisal is the key that triggers
the appraisal for most of the time. Now, you can close when there's work that needs to be done if you're incorporating the renovation cost into the mortgage. So sometimes we'll do a renovation and if it's like a small renovation, they don't have to have like a GC, or if they did have a GC, they could. But if it's a small renovation, they can have like Handyman 365 come in and give us a quote of what it's going to cost to make the repairs. And one of the things that people often don't realize when you're doing a renovation loan is the bank. One of the things the bank has to determine is what's the value of the property, how much is the value of the property going to change after you make the necessary improvements, right? So that's a big deal, and it's an appraiser's job to determine that. The trick is, and what delays a lot of transactions, is the appraiser can't do that without knowing what you're going to do. Right? So he's got to know what improvements are being made. Are we changing the kitchen? What kind of appliances are we putting in? Are we raising the ceiling? Like all those kind of things make a difference to say, so the appraiser can say, okay, now that I understand what you're doing, this is what I think it's going to be worth when you're done. But he's got to know what you're doing, and that's the thing that kind of holds us up a little bit sometimes. So going back to that, what are the improvements that deliver the most bang for the buck?
Just to get the property sold, or listed, is that what you mean?
No. I just mean like if I'm going to spend money, because not everybody who is doing repairs is going to sell their house, right?
Okay,
so if I'm going to spend money to improve my house, whether it's to sell it or whether it's to enjoy it, where am I going to get the most bang for my buck? And I'll give you an example, right? If I put in a $2,000 toilet where the seat lifts up and everything like that, right? It's super fancy, but is my house going to be worth $2,000 more because I got this nice toilet?
No.
Okay. So what are the repairs where somebody's going to get a good ROI, return on investment, for doing it?
Okay. Kitchen remodeling.
Okay. What does that
Bathroom.
entail?
Well, I mean, it all depends. I'm doing a house now where the kitchen cabinets are in great condition, but they're dark. So I have the painter that's in our group going out there, and we're going to paint the doors and change the hinges and all that, so that they don't have a full renovation, but it's improving the property.
So it's almost like a refresh.
Yes, a refresh.
Okay.
But a lot of times, get rid of everything and start all over. Using nice Corian or granite is kind of out, even though I like it.
Red? Did you say red?
No.
Granite.
Oh,
granite.
Oh, granite is out. Sorry. All right.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know how I heard.
Articulate more.
No, honestly, I don't know how I heard red. I think I might be going deaf.
Oh, darn, I should have saved that card and given it to you. You would have gotten a discount.
That's right. That's right.
Fresh paint also helps. Nice.
Really improves the house.
Nice and bright.
Paint, right?
A lot of times if they have old window treatment, putting up plantation shutters, that type of thing. Just modernize it. You don't have to tear everything down and then build it up. You can just improve upon it.
Oh, you mentioned shutters, and I was thinking about when hurricane season comes. I guys get really busy putting up new shutters or putting the shutters, existing shutters.
You're talking about for a
hurricane
that's
shutters, yeah.
Exterior.
Okay.
When I said plantation shutters, I was referring to interior.
Oh, interior.
But we also do not install, but will
Close
the shutters, especially like in these 55 plus communities.
Right.
The people can't do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
our guy goes out there, does it. Actually, I send a team of 2. Now the handyman can do that. It doesn't have to be a licensed and insured tradesman.
Right. I gotcha.
And we've done that before.
But you mentioned about the handyman. The handyman does not need to be licensed,
That is correct with the state of Florida.
and he can do a bath remodel, for example. Can he do that without getting into any
The
trouble?
handyman doesn't do it. That's where I would call in
contractor.
a subcontractor.
Okay.
Yeah, I would subcontract to somebody that could do it.
Got it.
Dante, my handyman that did work for him, he could do that because he has many 6 Airbnbs that he has. That's quite a lot. And he's redone everything in all of them himself. Well, and a helper, if you will.
Sure.
So he does that. But as far as you, for instance, if you wanted your kitchen remodeled, I would have my contractor come in with me. I go on the first appointment because I like to know face to face, meet everybody. And I like to let them know that I'm their point of contact. If they need anything, have any questions, text, call, or email.
Okay. But a simple like refresh, like you were describing, where you just paint the cabinets, that would be an example of a good way to get, for a nominal cost to improve the value of your house.
That is correct.
Right?
Yes.
What about replacing the countertops, appliances, bathrooms?
Well, if we're talking about refreshing, then it would be that. If you're talking about really improving, like this house that we're working on now, one of the painter from B&I, he's going to do the cabinets and so forth. And there's 1 bedroom walls that need to be done, but that's pretty simple. Also, a painter does not have to be licensed. And the painter I use is, insured for sure.
I think we might have to get B&I to be a sponsor. But okay. So, but are there other areas of the house that you can make improvements on that are they're gonna add value? Like one of the things that comes to mind is like finishing the garage floor, like putting the epoxy and all that.
We do that.
Right.
We do that.
But is it gonna increase?
Yes.
It'll increase the value commensurate close to what it costs.
Well, because visually it looks great.
Yeah,
if you just have a concrete floor, you make epoxy, like I did, and I put 6-inch border. I mean, when I have my garage door open, when I'm working on the yard or whatever, my neighbors say, "Wow, your garage looks great. Who did it? I'd like to have mine done."
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it does add value.
Okay. I remember I can't remember what hurricane it was, but this had to be like the mid 2000s. I had I had a generator for my house. And everybody in my neighborhood lost power, right? I had my outside lights on, and I was opening and closing the garage door. But my floor was finished. It was all It was pretty funny. At least it was funny to me. I'm sure my neighbors hated my guts. Although a bunch of people came over to have us store their food for them. But, okay. So what type of repairs do you think homeowners should not be cheap on? Like everybody wants to save money or cut corners sometimes.
They do.
What are the kind of things that they shouldn't cut corners on?
They shouldn't cut corners on taking care of their air conditioner.
Okay.
When they have a sink leak, sometimes they try to tape it and all that. No, it needs a certain kind of, I think it's epoxy that you put so that the leak is secure, or, sometimes garbage disposals.
Oh, yeah.
They start not working, and they're in there. One guy went in with a plunger, but he didn't use the plunge side. He used the stick, and he's trying to turn it around and so forth, and
he pushed.
He had to wind up replacing it. So don't.
Yeah.
A lot of times too, the guts of a toilet, inside the tank, they try to do that, and it's really a simple job, but they don't know what they're doing, and then they call us in.
Yep.
Now that's a really small job.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we'll do a favor, but typically it's $150
minimum.
Right.
But Rich, on the cash out refi, mostly of those are done for remodeling or for small.
Well, you can do. There are some renovations that you can do that you can incorporate on a refinance and it not be considered cash out because you're making improvements on the house.
Okay.
But if you're doing like a cash out refinance, so sometimes people will take equity. I've got clients that are doing that this month that are taking out equity in their house. They're actually taking out equity in one house to do a major remodel on a completely different house.
Mm-hmm.
And,
so two different programs. Separate.
Two different programs.
And,
two different
qualifications
things.
are same or different?
Qualifications are the same. So the only time like the renovation part would kind of come into it is if it would be based on the condition of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times somebody will do start doing work, and then they need more money to finish the work, right? In that case, your only choice is to do a renovation loan because the house isn't in a current state that you can do essentially a cash out refinance. So you got to be careful about that. So yeah, if you were thinking about using the equity to do some of the improvement costs, don't start the improvements first. Get the loan first.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good to know.
That's great. So from a personal standpoint, I took money out from my home. Rich did it.
Yeah.
Because I needed a new roof and, I wanted to pay off some debt. And so what was that called?
That was just a typical cash out refinance. In that case, that's what we did in your situation.
That changes your rate, or is it completely separate mortgage?
They're higher.
So, there were a couple different reasons there. But what happens is in lending, there's the interest rate is very much predicated on the pieces to somebody's puzzle.
Right.
And if you think about a bank, the way that I explain it to people all the time is if you think about it as the bank as an investor, right? The bank is making an investment in you, and the interest rate that you pay is the return on the bank's investment, right? So anything that the bank perceives as additional risk, they're going to want to get additional return on, right? Just like, right, nobody would buy Bitcoin if it was paying the same as a CD. So what happens is, in the industry, they're called loan level adjustments, but it's really, it's buyer situation adjustments, right? So if somebody's, taking cash out as opposed to making a purchase, that's going to be a little bit more expensive. The credit score that could influence the cost.
But is the whole loan refinanced or just that portion that
Well, it depends. Sometimes sometimes it makes more sense to do a second mortgage. So a second mortgage is when you get a loan that's behind the first, right? Sometimes it makes more sense to do a second. Sometimes it makes more sense to do a brand new mortgage. And the things that influence that might be what the interest rate is, right, on the first. So if my first mortgage if I'm paying 7 and the prevailing rates are 6.5, I need the money anyway. I might as well pay the first thing off. It's not necessarily low enough that it would make sense to do a straight refinance.
I see.
But since I'm getting cash out anyway, and if I got a second, I'd be paying an even higher rate. I might as well just do one because my costs are almost the same.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
So
there's a lot that kind of that's the one thing that I like about my job, and I'm gonna ask you the next question. One of the things that I love about my job is taking all those pieces and knowing how all those variables fit. And that's one of the things that I do well that separates me from other people is not everybody can kind of conceptualize all those pieces to see how they fit together the best.
Sure.
What is it that you love most about your job?
Meeting people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I say no. I don't like people, but no, during the day, I like to meet them. I like to satisfy their needs. I like to hear them say, wow, Jan, Dante did a really fabulous job. I'm so happy to hear that. Or, if somebody says, Jan, That piece of wood is a little bit crooked, no problem. I'll have them come back and straighten it out. So I like working with people. I like the challenge of working with people that are not that easy to work with. Also, to have them, a lot of people, you just yes someone to death. Somebody, oh, this, that, and the other. Okay, I understand. Well, how can we fix that for you? And it usually settles them down, and we shake hands and walk out friends.
You're a better person than me. I hate working with people who irritate me.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's only one that I'm dealing with now. Everything else seems insignificant.
What kind of what are the kind of things that you do that you think would surprise people to know? Like we've got Jarvis here, and he doesn't know everything you do. I know a little bit more. Tell him something that I bet he doesn't know you would do.
If my tradesman wasn't available and I had to help somebody, I get involved. I'm hands-on. If they need me, I do it. I've lifted drywall and,
really?
Whatever it is. I had somebody that needed their yard mulched and fertilized. I got out and I did it myself to satisfy the customer's needs. So I'm very, very hands-on.
Yeah, it's very handsy. I can tell you. I've been in networking meetings with her. Yeah, trust me. One of the other things that she does that she didn't take moves. They handle moves. So for somebody buying a new house,
really?
That is relocating to they got to have their move. They coordinate the move. Again, part of that one-stop shop with your daughter.
Right.
Good to know.
Okay. Yeah, that was the one. That was the answer I was going for. So for somebody buying a fixer-upper, what's something they should tackle first? Is there like an order that people should go in when they're getting a fixer-upper?
If the roof is bad, take care of the roof first.
Got it. Okay.
The main essentials. If the toilet isn't working, fix the toilet.
Right.
If the sink isn't working, make sure it does. The things that you need to live. If you need a new refrigerator, do it. If you need a new dishwasher, that's not essential. If you need a new microwave, that's not essential. But the stove is, so you can cook for your children or yourself, whatever. So you have to categorize things. A lawnmower, that doesn't count. You can figure it out or pay somebody to do it initially, but it's the essentials that you need to live, not luxuries.
Do you work with a lot of like investors or like property management companies? I would think that they would need like these kind of services. Oh, were you? Before like a tenant, taping. Always like, oh, this broke or that broke.
Yeah, and that's what I was working on at Brentwood, his community.
Oh, okay.
The president said I would become a preferred vendor, if you will, in the community. Yeah. If a homeowner said, I need this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm dealing with the HOA on the clubhouse, which was destroyed by water.
I didn't know that. My clubhouse was destroyed by water.
Yeah.
Recently?
Yeah. Recently? No, it was an ongoing thing where the sprinklers were hitting the wall over the years, and somehow it got in there and rotted the wood inside.
She's talking about my HOA, right?
Yeah,
I understand.
Yeah.
And I didn't see that on the newsletter.
Oh,
nobody
that's
told
funny.
me. That's the first time I'm hearing that.
That's what we're
That's
going
funny.
on. And, we should promote B&I. I brought Chris out there, who's our contractor, to take a look at that.
Yeah, I gotta have Chris on the podcast. He's really interesting.
Yeah,
he does some really, really big construction jobs and stuff like that. Yeah, some good projects.
And that's why I connected with him, because he has some jobs he doesn't want to deal with.
Right.
He wants the big stuff.
Right.
God bless him. But if he's got little things, he said, yeah, Jan, I'll send them your way, things I don't want to do.
Right, and then she's gonna get jobs that she doesn't, that are too big.
And
you do Tri-County? Do you do all the way to Miami?
I try to stay in Palm Beach County only for my tradesmen's sake. We'll go to Fort Lauderdale.
She went to Miami for me.
Yeah. We make certain concessions. Yeah, he's a friend. Why not do it for him? We had a rather big job that was referred by a roofer in the heart of Miami. so it was worth our while to go there. But we like Palm Beach County. You know, I tried to be considerate of them.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend that does a lot of renovations, like he'll buy fix and flips and stuff like that. And he's in Tampa. He bought a place in Fort Lauderdale, and they did a renovation. And what he did was he actually brought his crew, put them up in a hotel or whatever.
Really?
While they fixed up the place, because he found that he could. Yeah, it was fascinating. What's the biggest renovation mistake that you've seen somebody make?
There was a gal.
Okay.
A couple, I should say.
Yeah.
It was a referral.
Two gals? That kind of couple?
No, it was a husband and wife.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
And it was a referral.
Not that there's anything wrong with
somebody, B&I.
Right.
Ray, the AC guy.
Mm-hmm.
This place had electrical wires hanging all over, and we needed to bring out an engineer in order to redo. This couple's best choice would be to tear the whole thing down, do a demolition, and start all over.
Wow.
And it probably would have been more cost effective. It was a very, very old house. The ceilings were about as tall as Rich is. I mean, they were low, and I'm short, but I mean, I was feeling it. She wanted all the ceilings raised. Okay, that's not a problem. We can do that, but it's not cost effective. I mean, when I told her we need an engineer, we need an architect out there, because if you're making any kind of structural changes, you need this crew out there, and they have to be approved. So, I mean, it was like a total mess, and then it was a rental before they bought it, and the people who lived there jerry-rigged the electrical, and it was like a total mess.
No.
What kind of jobs that you get involved that you need city approval?
Anytime you're making a structural change.
Electrical or plumbing or walls?
Not necessarily that, but we're making at Brentwood, we're making a structural change because they want the windows that are currently there removed, and they want to put in larger impact windows so they match the other side of the clubhouse. Now, the other windows are not impact, but aesthetically it's going to look the same. So we have to, cut the wall, make it lower so that the larger windows fit. Okay, so we're making a structural change. We have to get approval. In your case, it's county approval because you're in unincorporated Boca.
Right. Okay, but if you want to put a charger, like an electric charger for a car, does that need approval from the city or the county or whoever?
No, I don't believe so. That just needs approval from the HOA.
HOA. Okay.
So for somebody thinking about selling their house in, let's say, 2 to 3 years, what's something that they should be doing now?
Just taking care of their home.
Okay.
Keeping it maintained. Don't let it go because you want to get top dollar for it.
How much do you think curb appeal matters? And curb appeal, and I think you mentioned doing some like landscaping and stuff like that. So do you do that kind of stuff?
Major. You look at the house. Oh wow, this is really beautiful. You go inside and it's not so much. But if you see, you can see beyond that. Then I think, make the purchase. But I think curb appeal is the number one factor because you're visually looking, especially for women.
Oh, yeah.
If it's a husband and wife, oh, yeah, honey, this is beautiful, and you walk in and then she'll start, well, I want this wall down. I want to open everything up. And that's a good sign when you bring them there and they see it before they purchase it, but they're talking about what they're going to do to the property. Right. You got it sold.
It's funny. It was a landscaping guy that did a house 3 doors down from us. Then he did a great job. And then he would knock everybody's door. And I say, look at the job that I did out there. And I say, yeah, it looks good. So everybody in my block started doing landscaping. And now the property value improved because everybody now has a nice landscaping.
Wow. So when hiring a handyman, what are some red flags that homeowners should be aware of?
Well, make sure they're insured.
Okay.
Number one.
Yeah.
I don't want to say what they look like, but their presence. In other words, a nice shirt, pants. Yes, their work clothes. And like I said, I know you said not Handyman 365, but I go out there, you know, and I make a presence. I mean, I don't look like I'm somebody off the street.
Right.
And they like the rapport there. And then I introduced them to the handyman. And this is what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. And I'll send you an estimate.
And how do homeowners protect themselves from like the disappearing deposit? Like I know I've had people, in fact, we did it for some property that I own where we gave a guy some money and he didn't do the work and just.
You're right.
Yeah. What is there any tip that you can give to people?
Make sure you hire the right.
So hire Handyman 365.
Yeah,
that seems
exactly.
to be the growing theme.
No, because that's happened a lot, and that's why handymen had a bad rap for a while there.
Okay.
Because that's exactly what they did. They come in, they look like they're hungover from the night before. I'm not putting that down, and
directly.
She's looking at you, Rich.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, and well, I'm good at reading people typically, so I would say no, I'm not going to hire them. Giving advice, make sure they're insured.
Yeah.
You know, check their references.
So they can go to any like a government website to check their license and their insurance. How do you do that? Or like just ask them for the.
I would give references. You a copy of my insurance.
Like those third-party handymans. What would you do? Like you go
Google reviews, maybe
Google reviews, or check the government license.
Well, they probably don't even have reviews if they're just a one-man
off the street.
Yeah. So then that's a red flag.
That's a red flag. What you can ask them, they can also lie and give them their best friend, their mother, and whatever, and get rave reviews. But I can kind of sense it. And cheap is definitely not better.
Oh, that's that's actually really good advice, right? Cheap is definitely not better. It's I often I often say store brand toilet paper and Charmin do the exact same thing, but I will never buy store brand sandpaper. You know,
exactly.
It's a little bit more expensive, but there's a value to what you get. So cheap isn't what's important. Value is what's important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well stated.
What do you wish homeowners knew before they picked up the phone to call you?
That I'm a reputable company, and they were referred to me, so I'll speak to them. I don't know if that's an answer to your question, but and I always give the people as much information as I can about me, the services I provide, and the tradesmen that I use in the circle. I give a little dissertation, if you will.
Okay. So some of my clients and some of the people who might be listening are first-time home buyers. They were renting. They're not used to the difference between owning a house and renting. What's like a good maintenance checklist for a homeowner to be aware of when they first get into their house?
The sink, the refrigerator, the stove. Like I said, the microwave and the dishwasher are insignificant.
All right.
The washer and dryer in the garage are insignificant. They're more of a luxury. They're not a necessity. So they need to be sure all the necessities are working.
All right, and maintain
then aesthetically, we can help them later, but take care of these things first.
All right. Well, Jan, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Well, thank you.
Jarvis, as always, thank you for your help.
Always
know for a lot of people who are listening, most of my clients are homeowners, or all my clients are homeowners that are, buying a house, maybe refinancing a house, pulling cash out to make improvements or some other stuff. And so I think this information was super, super helpful for everybody who is who owns a property and how to maintain it. And if they do have any questions or need to, I know that Jan's phone number is going to be below, as is her website. So we can definitely do that. So Jan, once again, thank you for being on our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
This has been the Loan Doctor podcast, and thank you for being in our waiting room.